Let's talk about Colemine Records and the crop of 2023 releases that have come out so far, and what's to come very soon from Colemine and their imprint Karma Chief Records. If you're unaware, and you really should not be unaware of this label at this point in 2023, unless maybe you just started collecting vinyl, in which case this is one of the first and best labels that you should support, and they have an amazing record store too called Plaid Room Records that will also help expand your collection. Colemine Records is an independent record label out of Loveland, Ohio that started in 2007 by Terry Cole, by accident as he says, and I'm a dope. It wasn't even until putting this video together that I even realized Terry Cole, Colemine Records, I'm an idiot. I always thought it was actually a callback to the Lee Dorsey song Working in a Coal Mine, which is a great tune by the way. I love the story of this label coming together. Basically, Terry and his buddy Louis Rideout had a record called The City, but they didn't want to shop it to labels. So they made their own record label and made a logo, which was this, and called it Colemine, and boom, label born. Quick note about that record, they only ever pressed it on CD, but it's actually the first official label numbering for their 12-inch releases, CLMN 12001. The next one, CLMN 12002, was also a CD-only release, Tough Junkie, grab what you can. I really love this story because it's very much something I tried with my own bands back around the same time, ironically. We called it Ford Street Records because I lived on Ford Street at the time, and I made this little logo with Dr. J slam dunking because we were all Sixers fans. And this is something I think is interesting in the world of funk and groove music. For a long time, if you were a new funk band, no one cared. Or if it was a new funk record, especially nobody cared. But that started to change in the mid-2000s, right around when Colemine started getting out there. And the first LP on the label is now at this point a very well-known and respected funk groover. This is Jive Turkey's Bread and Butter. This was the first official Colemine LP released in 2010 and numbered CLMN 12003. And this was recently repressed in a small batch of 200 from Noble Records, another great channel and record store. This is a yellow variant, but you can still actually get the brown gravy variant from Colemine directly. Terry Cole is actually on bass on this, and it is pretty damn funky. I would love to try and get an interview sometime with some of the crew over at Colemine or even Terry himself, so definitely subscribe and share this video so that they see it and maybe we can get that going sometime in the future. In 2018, they started an imprint label called Karma Chief Records, and one of the first groups that they signed was Black Pumas, who I didn't realize has Adria Kinsada in it, who's part of one of my favorite records and groups that criminally has never been pressed on vinyl, Colemine or Remine. Definitely you should fix this. Okate Soul Sounds has 3 CDs out there and I have all of them, so I need to check out the Black Pumas. Criminally have not done that. They even have a new record coming out this year. Karma Chief tries to expand the sound of Colemine and reaches into other genres like rock and even country a little bit that we're going to get into. Now, I've admittedly been a little bit late to the game with Colemine Records. I took a hiatus from collecting for a while right when my kids came along, so I missed a lot of the early Colemine stuff, but I did manage to get a few things of the early years. But I wanted to focus today on the newest of the new from them, since I personally think the label is really starting to stretch its legs now, and some of the records that they are putting out are just really killer, and I've now committed to just basically getting all of their new issues, and these are great pressings as well. Most, if not all, their records state who mastered it and that it was pressed at Gotta Groove Pressing, which is a very good plant, and for the stuff that I've gotten from them, it's been very, very consistent. Colemine's been refining the product over the years as well, with better quality jackets, rice paper inner sleeves, and very good quality vinyl, and even the color variants are always spot on. Another thing, they ship fast. Both them and Plaid Room Records will get the stuff out to you very quickly and accurately and safely. I did a previous video on a large batch from Plaid Room Records and the packaging that was just top notch. You can check it out here after you're done watching this video. So what have they produced in 2023? Well, they've done a lot, and I'm just going to focus on the LPs because I really can't keep up with all the 45s just yet. And this is all mostly from Colemine directly and Karma Chief, their really awesome imprint label, not Remind, which is their reissue label that puts out Lost and Rare Soul Treasures, or the other labels that they distribute for, which are really awesome as well. And I should state this too, I bought everything here. Like, this is not sponsored by Colemine in any way. I'm just a super big fan of theirs. I really enjoy them. I want to support them as much as I can. So this stuff was all my own money buying for this stuff. We're going to start with Okonski Magnolia CLMN 12053. This was issued back in February. This is the limited edition green marble. This was a Colemine web store exclusive and limited to 500 copies. There are black versions and other colors still out there. This is led by Steve Okonski and Aaron Frazier on drums, another artist who's very awesome and has a great solo album out as well, and he's working on another album as well right now. And it has Michael Isvara Montgomery on bass. This album is a really awesome venture into some unexplored areas for the label, and one that got me very excited for the label in 2023. This is mostly improvised, and because of the piano sound, really is a departure for the normal stuff that you might find on the label, like some of the more groovy soul kind of stuff. This has hints of jazz, still has lots of great grooves on it, and it sounds amazing. A great pressing and great production. Definitely check out Okonski from Steve Okonski. The next release on the label actually comes from Karma Chief Records, the Imprint, which is Kendra Morris Babble KCR 12028. This released on Karma Chief in March of 2023. This is the Colemine exclusive Freak Swirl edition, which I bought literally just because it was called Freak Swirl. Limited to 500 copies. This album was originally released in 2016 as an EP, and I don't think that it was on Colemine back then. Karma Chief hadn't started yet, but apparently this has become a cult favorite, so they added 3 additional tracks and re-released it this year, and it is really, really good. This has new artwork from the original. Apparently Kendra herself hand drew the first 50 of the original EP, so if you're lucky to get those, that's pretty awesome. This has a really great soul groover feel to it with lots of fuzzy guitar, and her vocals are really seductive. She has a really great sound. She has a brand new album that just came out that we're going to show in a few minutes here in the video. So Kendra Morris released on March 3rd of 2023, and literally 20 days later, this came out. Andrew Gabbard, Cedar City Sweetheart, which is KCR 12010. This is Colemine trying to put people in the poorhouse with 2 releases in 1 month. They actually released a 3rd in March on Karma Chief as well, GA20 Live in Loveland, but I have to wait on that one. I haven't really got into GA20 yet, and I didn't want to start with a live record, so we're going to get into that one later, I'm sure. This is the Colemine exclusive variant, an opaque cyan blue vinyl limited to 300 copies. These are actually still out there on Colemine's site as of the editing of this video, so you should definitely go get it. There's only 300 of them. I had never heard of Andrew Gabbard before, but I definitely need to catch up. He's one half of the Gabbard brothers, who also have an LP on Karma Chief, and he's also been a touring guitarist for the Black Keys. A lot of his stuff is a lot more rock or like Neil Young folk sounding, but this album is a good country record and it's great. I'm not actually a huge fan of country, but when it's authentic, not like the new like pop country twang stuff that's out there now, but like real country music, it sounds good, and I like this record. Again, the production is spot on, so definitely go check this out. I'm gonna go explore more of his back catalog on the Karma Chief label as well. The last one and this one I actually bought together, and these were strictly because I wanted new records, and these are new Colemine artists, and I've never heard these artists before. This is Rudy Deonda, Closet Botanist. This is his 2nd album on Karma Chief, KCR 12022. Another reason I like these label numberings, these 2 came after Babble, but they're numbered before it. I don't know why record labels do this sometimes, where they'll put out a numbering after or before another number, but I'm fascinated by it. I love the numbering of record labels. This is the Colemine exclusive Marigold Yellow, limited to 500 copies, and as of this recording, again, still available on Colemine's site, so go get it. This was recorded at Adrian Casada's studio in Texas. This has psych rock vibes to it, but still really grooves very hard. I've not heard his previous albums, but this one says that it's much more personal and introspective and a more mature sound. I really like this sound, and I think what we're hearing here from a lot of the artists on this label and Colemine and Karma Chief together is a maturing of the sound. This isn't just retro sounding soul or groove music. There's a lot of new things going on here and really, really great vibes. From this, I'm actually going to go hunt down his first LP on Topo Chico Bottle Clear Vinyl. That album is called Tender Epic or Epoch. I'm not sure if it's epoch or epic. The next one here is one of my favorites for this year from them, the Ironsides Changing Light CLMN 12051. This is again numbered before Magnolia, but released well after it. Another great expansion for the label here. This is a collective of Bay Area musicians who brought Maestro Lou King from New York to do the string arrangements here, and the result is a range of jazz to classical, all in a 60s and 70s style soundtrack that is just amazing. There are some great grooves as well, but also a lot of grander ideas happening on this record. This variant is the Colemine exclusive Caramel variant, limited to 500 copies. They also have another blue variant that is really nice too and still available. This is in a nice gatefold that lists all the musicians on each track as well. This album has a little bit of everything. Kelly Finnegan, who's done a lot of work with Colemine Records as well, is also on a lot of the tracks here. There's a lot going on with this one. I really enjoy this record. I definitely highly recommend it. Pale J Bewilderment just came along in August, and this is the Coke bottle green variant that's actually on 45 RPM, and I was surprised when I got it because I didn't even realize that they were doing that, and I was very pleasantly surprised to find that it was on 45 RPM on the LP, which is great. It sounds really good, and I think that they should do more of that kind of a thing, like offer other variants in 45 RPM or things like that in just limited editions. I would definitely get them. This is another Karma Chief offering, so it's a little bit off the beaten path, but I really like that path. This is Pale J's first full-length LP. Pale J is a trained jazz vocalist and pianist, and he wrote and recorded and produced all the songs on this album except By the Lake, which is actually a collaboration with Okonski, who we talked about earlier. There's a lot of grooves on this, but it's also very trippy, and the videos and the whole thing that he has going, the whole look that he's got going on here is very cool. The vocals and the falsetto are really awesome. And I love the Coke Bottle Green variant here. Basically, if you press something on Coke Bottle Green, I'm going to buy it. So there it is. We have another Kendra Morris release. This is a brand new full-length LP called I Am What I'm Waiting For. This is the Colemine exclusive clear with orange swirl, limited to 500 copies. I gotta say, they're giving her all of the best color variants of the records this year for sure. This also has a great gatefold cover and a beautiful photo book. The photos are awesome, by the way. I love the concept and the look. She's out there in some of these street settings that is just crazy with her costumes on, and the people reacting in the photos are just awesome. And some of them aren't reacting and it looks just great. I really like this photo book. This just came out and it even shipped early from Colemine, so I was able to include it in this video. Apparently Kendra Morris is an accomplished visual artist and stop motion animator, which is also really cool. But this album is a little different than Babble. This has a feel all to itself, but her vocals are still very seductive and the grooves are always there as well with that like fuzzy guitar sound. This is now her third full-length album with Karma Chief. The first was 9 Lives, which came out last year. She also put out a 7-inch single with Andrew Gabbard, who we mentioned earlier, and I definitely want to go check that out with the two of them singing together. So that is all the stuff that I have so far in 2023 from Colemine Records. Again, Colemine and Karma Chief, not all the subsidiaries or exclusive pressings that they do for other artists or labels, which I do have a lot of those. But if you like this stuff and you're interested in more, I have these records on pre-order, and you definitely should too. The first one is Say Shishi, coming in September. Their sophomore album. Prism was their debut last year on Karma Chief, and it rocked my world. I still can't stop listening to it, and I'm gonna have a whole video coming out about them when that record comes out. And I just got a notification yesterday that my Black Market Brass Hawks is shipping. Again, it's shipping early. These guys always ship stuff a little bit early, so you should definitely get on their pre-orders with them. Colemine actually sent me one time a test pressing of the Black Market Brass of the Undying Thirst record, which is a really great record, but this test pressing is awesome. It's one of the only test pressings I have, so that's very sick. And this is their orange variant of the Undying Thirst. I immediately went out and got this after they sent me that test pressing because I was like, I gotta have both. Black Market Brass is a really good Afro funk ensemble, and they're coming out with this new album, so I'll probably be talking about that in the future as well. There's also a Colemine exclusive coming from Daptone Records, Jalen Nagata, Come Around and Love Me. Definitely go check that out. I'm sure I will be talking about that when it comes out. I'm actually going to see him in Philadelphia in September, so I'm very excited about that. Like I said in the beginning, if you don't know about this label, now you do. No excuses. Go buy more stuff from them. Definitely support their artists. Go see them live and buy their pieces of vinyl. If you like this video, go check out this one on Plaid Room Records, or this one on a really great, awesome Brazilian guitarist, Jose, that you should definitely know about. I'm gonna go listen to that Ironsides record and chill. I will see you guys on the next one.